is Kwararafa Television.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kwararafa Television News at Noon. I am Rachel Epafras with the news. First, the headlines. The People's Democratic Party and the ruling All Progressive Congress have commenced the upload of names of their governorship and state House of Assembly candidates. A tragic boat accident has occurred at the Malamawa community, Yanduse district of Ringim local government area of Jigawa State. The U.S. military says a serving member was killed after an Iranian attack in northern Iraq. Now the news in full. The People's Democratic Party and the all-ruling Progressive Congress has commenced the upload of names of their governorship and state House of Assembly candidates for the 2027 general elections. Speaking, the PDP National Organizing Secretary, Umar Bature, disclosed that the party commenced the upload on Saturday. Also, a senior APC official who spoke on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to comment publicly told our correspondent that the party will upload only the governorship and state House of Assembly candidates whose nomination has been cleared by the Primary Election Appeal Panel and the National Working Committee. Earlier, in line with the Independent National Electoral Commission's timetable, political parties submitted the nomination list of their presidential and National Assembly candidates between June 27 and July 11, 2026. A tragic boat accident occurred at Malamawa community, Yanduse district of Ringim local government area of Jigawa State, leaving one person dead and many missing. The incident, which happened on Sunday, involved a boat reportedly conveying about 40 passengers, mostly women and children. It suddenly capsized while crossing a waterway in the area. The Jigawa State Police Command confirmed the incident in a statement issued by its public relations officer, SP Shushu Lawan Adam. Adam disclosed that the body has so far been recovered. Adam disclosed that nobody has so far been recovered, while search and rescue teams were continuing efforts to locate the remaining passengers who are still unaccounted for. The incident has thrown the Malamawa community into mourning, with anxious relatives and residents gathering alongside the riverbank as rescue operations continue. A separate statement released by the Ringim Emirates Council also confirmed the tragic incident, noting that the boat's mishap resulted in loss of lives. The Advocacy Foundation, a youth-led civic technology organization, has urged President Bola Tinubu to assent to the Federal Audit Service Bill without further delay, saying the legislation has remained unsigned for more than 7 months after it was passed by both chambers of the National Assembly. The foundation's project director, Habib Shaidu, in a statement on Sunday, said the proposed law will reveal the colonial-era audit ordinance of the 1956 and establish an autonomous Federal Audit Service and Federal Audit Board. He added that it will strengthen the powers of the Auditor General of the Federation and introduce timelines and sanctions to improve accountability in public finance management. Shaidu stated that the bill will address long-standing weakness in Nigeria's audit system by giving the Auditor General stronger enforcement powers. No fewer than 4 persons have been confirmed dead, several others injured, and hundreds of households affected following a devastating windstorm and a heavy rainfall that swept through communities in Kwara local government area of Sokoto State on Saturday. The disaster also destroyed numerous houses and damaged critical public infrastructures, including a primary school and a hospital. In response, the National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA) Sokoto Operations Office conducted an assessment of the affected communities to determine the extent of the destruction and identify the immediate humanitarian needs of victims. The assessment covered Malamawa, Maimushe, Kaura, Sabongari, Ruginsamia, and other surrounding settlements affected by the storm. Several residents also sustained varying degrees of injuries, while 4 fatalities were recorded. The agency said that the assessment exercise was aimed at establishing the scale of the damage to facilitate timely response and provision of relief materials to the affected communities. Russia has carried out a wave of ballistic missile and drone strikes on Ukraine, killing at least 8 people, which injured dozens. 4 people were killed in the northeastern city of Kharkiv, and an elderly woman died in the capital of Kyiv. There were more than 2 fatalities in Zaporizhzhia and the south, and 1 Sumy in the northeast. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the raid on Kyiv was one of the most massive ballistic attacks since Russia has launched a full-scale invasion in 2022. Late on Sunday, Ukrainian Navy said 5 people were killed when a Turkish-owned civilian cargo ship with grain was hit by a Russian missile in the Black Sea. Russia has not commented. The U.S. military says a serving member was killed after an Iranian attack in the northern Iraq a day after an attack based on the Jordan killed. 2 U.S. soldiers were killed and others left missing. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM said the individual was killed during a controlled detonation of unexploded ordnance from a downed Iranian attack, which also wounded a second service member. In its update, CENTCOM said it had found unidentified remains after the search of a location on Friday attack in Jordan. An examination process to verify the remains is ongoing. It comes as the US and Iran exchange strikes for an 8th day of escalating attacks. Both sides have been accused of striking critical infrastructure in recent days. Meanwhile, Washington has reimposed its blockade of Iranian ports and Tehran and declared the Strait of Hormuz closed and targeted US allies in the region as a preliminary ceasefire collapsed less than a month after it began. Please stay with us. We'll be right back after a quick break.
This is Kwararafa Television.
Welcome back. You are listening to Kwararafa Television News at Noon. Now to the business news. The national average price for regular gasoline has hit $4 per gallon again on Monday as the renewed conflict with Iran and Ukraine-Russia attack rattle energy markets. It's the first time that the national average has been at $4 or higher since June 17th. On Friday, US crude oil settled at $82.49. International Brent crude oil closed at $88.10. Gas prices has fallen in recent weeks to as low as $3.79 on July 7th and 8th, but have trended higher again over the last 2 weeks as Washington and Tehran exchanged daily attacks in a battle over crucial Strait of Hormuz. On Friday, oil prices posted their second straight weekly gain. Last week alone, US crude oil and international Brent crude oil both rose more than 15%. Over the last 2 weeks, prices have risen more than 20%. Oil prices began rising again after the US revoked a sanction waiver on Iranian oil on July 7th. One day later, President Donald Trump announced that the ceasefire with Iran was over. Marketers of petroleum products have stated that the loading of oil has been put on hold at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery following facility's decision to sell oil in dollars. Many marketers told journalists that the facility was not even loading its truck, sparking fear of possible fuel tightness across the country. But the refinery denied the claim, arguing that fuel loading was ongoing within the Lekki-based plant. Petroleum marketers said they suspended large-scale fuel loading in the last few days as they await clarity on the new pricing template being adopted by the refinery. They also await cost of newly imported petroleum products. The development heightened uncertainty in the downstream petroleum sector, with marketers wary of buying large volumes of petrol at the prevailing prices, only to see the cost of the product fall shortly after. Now on entertainment news. Nollywood actress Destiny Etiko has revealed that she has lost 5 million naira after placing her first ever football bet. Sharing the experience on her Instagram page, the actress said the loss had convinced her never to bet again. According to Destiny, the experience was emotionally draining, adding that the anxiety she felt during the wager was overwhelming. She also joked about the fact that she was done watching football following the loss. The actress wrote that it was her first time betting, that she lost 5 million naira and she has no intention of ever trying it again. Now on sports. European champions Spain have beaten Argentina in the final of the 2026 World Cup. Spain got the second ever World Cup after an extra time goal in a hard-fought game against the 2022 world champions. The first half ended 0-0 and was tight, with Spain having the majority of the possession and shots. Spain continued the pressure in extra time and got the breakthrough in the second half of the extra time after a brilliant strike by Ferran Torres. Messi and Argentina's World Cup defense ended in a tough final lose as they were unable to break Spain's strong loss defense. That is it on the news at noon this afternoon. I remain Rachel Epaphras. Bye for now.